For Monday, August 16th at 7 p.m. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call to establish a quorum.
Supervisor Derek Daniel.
Here.
Supervisor Linda Waite.
Here.
Chairman Dan Wolfel.
Here.
Supervisor Mark Hain.
Here.
And Supervisor Jeannie Vogel is excused.
All right, next item on the agenda is the meet and greet. So if you would like to introduce yourself, Jim, I will start with you.
I'm Jim Hitchie, 4159 Shore Drive.
And Mary Ann Ewig, 6391 Little Harbor Drive.
I'm Adam Pronto. I'm a resident of Sturgeon Bay.
I'm Grace Nellis. I'm a resident of Sturgeon Bay.
No, 42.
Oh, 4260. Highway 57.
I'm Clay Nellis. I live in Sevastopol on Highway 57.
Craig Nellis, 4216 Highway 57.
Carrie Nellis, 4216 State Highway 57.
I'm Lisa Sanson and I live on 5309 Elaine Drive, Sevastopol.
Cool, thank you much. All right, public participation. Anyone wishing to speak? All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great, okay. I guess first and foremost, I'm astounded at what I'm hearing back here, having spent 40-some years in the healthcare profession. So it's really distressful to me that this has happened this evening. And this is not sufficient distance in my mind. And we have a Delta variant that is running rampant through this country, and you may watch some material in some places, but the science is certainly with this. So this is where I'm at. But I came here tonight for what I call my brief and spectacular. For anybody who listens to public television in the evening, often there's a segment at the very end about a brief and spectacular statement. And this is my statement of commendation to every single one of you for the work that you placed on the STR ordinance. I watched the process for over a year and a half. To me, it was incredibly impressive on how you stayed on task, how you were not diverted, that you remained with it, and we have today an excellent ordinance. And I thank you.
Well, thank you very much for those comments. I'm sure the Plan Commission is not here, but we will force them to listen to you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak?
I will. I'm the executive director of a new nonprofit that's coming to our community here in Sevastopol, and I just wanted to come and introduce myself this evening, and then to let you guys know that I'll be showing up at future meetings in the next few months. We're pursuing a conditional use permit, so our nonprofit organization can be open to the public. We're focused in conservation and environmentalism, training and educating young youth on sustainable practices and organic practices on the property. We also have a 170-acre woodland and wetland that has a unique and robust trail system developed on it, and we hope that that trail system is a way that the community can enjoy different recreational uses.
Where is this?
It's the parcel east of Cherry Hills Golf
So it's
Course.
in the town.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I wanted to extend an open invitation to any of the town board members to be with me on the side to take a tour of the property to see what we have there.
Okay, great. Thank you much. Thanks for coming. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Craig Nellis, and I do apologize for earlier, but just being in defiance with the regulations. I know the heart behind it is is good. But there's also much science that says that the mask itself is hurtful and that the vaccine has not been tested long enough. And so I agree with, I see where your heart is and the rest of the board. I appreciate that, but I still want to be part of government, local government, and I really feel that the mask and the mandated vaccine is an infringement of our rights. So I also want to attend meetings and I want to be a positive influence, but as far as wearing the mask or being vaccinated, I really oppose that. So I hope you understand.
I will make only one comment, and then we'll move on. I'm of the age that in the 50s, my parents made the decision that the polio vaccine was something that I should get. And I can only tell you back then, it was a similar situation to now. And had my parents not decided, or all of the parents of the many, many kids that were born in that time frame not had that vaccine, there would be a whole lot of us that either would not be here or perhaps would have a fairly grave disability. So sometimes you have to make a sacrifice for the greater good to make sure that everybody else can continue to enjoy life. And with that, we'll go on to our meeting. So, thank you. Motion to adopt the agenda. Assume it was properly noticed.
The agenda was properly noticed.
All right.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Motion by Derek, second by?
Second.
Second by Linda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Approval of minutes, Board of Supervisors meeting July 19th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the Board of Supervisors meeting July 19th, 2021.
Motion by Mark, second by?
I'll second that one too.
Second by Linda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Pending business, discussion action. At last month's meeting, oops, no, I'm good yet. Sorry, I have myself out of order here. At last month's meeting, I shared with you the fact that we thought we were going to recover the money that we spent for the Muscat property demolition, and we did in fact receive a check from them. So other than our attorney's fees, we recovered $71,000. I also discussed the fact that I thought since we had some of those funds, and I don't want to say that was lost money, but we weren't anticipating the recovery of that anywhere near that time frame. I'd like to reinvest that money in 3 or 4 other properties over time that I think merit as much attention as the Muscat property does. And the pictures that you have are of a couple of dwellings, just some snapshots in the town that have been in very dilapidated condition over a number of years, and I won't name them. I think you know where most of them are. There are a couple of mobile homes, a farm, and a residence that are in extremely poor, if not totally useless condition. What I would suggest, subject to discussion, is that we pursue the one mobile home that we know that is near Clark's Lake. We know the status of that, and proceed with condemnation as the first step. Inform the owner through a letter that they have an opportunity to remove it themselves, and if not, that the town would take action and basically follow the same guidelines that we followed with the Muscat property. The other 3 properties that I think are on the list that merit attention, I would recommend that we send those individuals a letter indicating that removal should proceed on some reasonable time frame, and ask them to cooperate, and if not, then we would pursue the same steps over time, taking one of those at a time.
I think there's only 2 other properties, Dan, top 3.
I think we have one on Cherry Road, one on one on T, Cherry Road, Town Line.
I didn't see the one on Cherry Road.
Pardon me?
I didn't see the one on Cherry Road.
Yeah, there's not a picture of it in here, that's
Gotcha.
not there. There's a trailer on Forest, a trailer on Town Line, a home on T, and then a home on Cherry Road where there was a fire. Wouldn't go back a number of years, but at any rate, the focus would be to have Brett Timmy start the process with the building on Town Line. We had some preliminary estimates a number of years ago. They would need to be updated if we get that far, but ballpark back then was around $5,000, so I'm sure with everything else it's increased, but certainly doable. I can't imagine it would be significantly higher, so. Your thoughts?
I thought we should do it last month. So I'm still in agreement with, let's get going on it.
Okay,
Send letters, let's start working on it, let's clean it up.
all right. Linda, Derek, any comments?
Well, most of these properties, when we had our property management committee in effect, we were maintaining, kind of monitoring most of these properties. I think all of them were on there, except the trailer on Forest. And, well, most of the time, the owners were cooperative, but we have, like you said, Mr. Chairman, these few that, the two trailers are not uninhabited. I believe the one, even their septic has already been condemned or is non-usable. I believe the well out there has been capped, so that would be an easy one to tackle. Probably economically as well, if it's just removal of the trailer. The second trailer, likewise, it's definitely uninhabited. There's no roof to it. And then just tackle one at a time, I would say.
Oh,
But I agree, write a letter first, maybe send it certified return receipt so you have a documented trail of our efforts to contact the owner.
sounds good. You want to put that in a motion, someone?
Is there any way we can get that property across from the experiment station added to that list too?
That
Well, they're
was,
working on it now.
yeah, they're
Okay.
working on it, and, yeah, I
Oh.
agree. They have cleaned that piece
On the
up
corner
a
of,
lot,
on the corner of
a
Walker?
lot,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, second property over.
second property in.
To the north.
Okay. Oh, I
They
know what you're talking about.
have been working on that, so.
I don't have any trouble adding things, Derek.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah,
gotta
there's
watch.
plenty to add.
Yeah, we're gonna try and recover some as we move along, and hopefully some of these landowners will voluntarily take the dwelling down and save themselves the headache.
And with it being a coastal byway now, I'd like to set an example.
Yeah,
And
Amy, you captured that, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so back to a motion that we proceed.
Well, I don't think we wanna, be too selective, that we have a list of properties that neighbors or whoever have complained of,
Right.
and that we are proceeding to, down the list to tackle these,
Right. No, I agree with that.
one at a time.
Right.
Could that be a motion?
Could be, if you would say that would be a motion. It would have to
Okay,
give
I'll
me
make a
clue.
motion, I'll make a motion that we, proceed along the lines of, cleanup for some of these, properties that neighbors and others have complained of, or eyesores, or, like Mr. Daniil said, on the coastal byway. Starting with, letters to the owners and send certified return receipt with a maybe, 20-day response time, 30-day response time, and then go forward from there. Hopefully we'll get favorable responses and they will cooperate.
Okay, we have a motion from Linda. I won't try to synopsize that, I'll
No,
just
I won't either.
take her at her word. Second,
I'll second.
second by Mark. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, thank you. On to new business. First one's an easy one, move the September meeting from September 20th to September 13th. Does anyone have an issue with changing that date?
Those are easy.
I have a conflict, so, and I haven't missed a meeting since I've been on the board for whatever. I'd like to try and keep that intact, so. Okay, so we'll move the meeting then to September 13th. Amy, you can post that? All right. The next one is a whole series of things on intergovernmental room tax agreement, Third Amendment and restatement. And I've read these things a couple of times. I'm not frankly so sure of the order, but I think the intergovernmental room tax agreement is the first item, and then we're gonna flip-flop the ordinance and the resolution from the next item of business. And I did receive, just as a little footnote, actually I went to Linda, and Linda copied me, some interesting information about the updated room tax ordinance and how the destination Door County is gonna handle it, which is they plan on contributing back out of that 8% amount that they're receiving, or out of the increase, I should say. $1.3 million goes back to the municipalities, which we will also get back as they disperse it back through their system. We will also get the opportunity to have our expense, the portion that we will pay to support the tourism zone, an opportunity to recover those fees, which we anticipate to be about $20,000. The town increase in revenue will go to approximately, go up approximately $46,000 for the year. We will pay $20,000 of that to the room tax commission. We have an opportunity to then get that money back from the Door County, Destination Door County group through some tourism-related infrastructure. We had a little conversation about that, but basically something like the park, something that increases tourism in our community. So we would be able to recover that fund out over time, which is good news. We'll have to watch how we do that because we don't have a business community like Egg Harbor, Fish Creek, and other places, but I think it's something that we can definitely get our arms around. So with that, the intergovernmental agreement is to administer the local room tax through the establishment of a tourism zone encompassing the boundaries of the municipality. So, you know, this whole thing was done a number of years ago by all the towns in Door County to establish the Door County Tourism Zone. And the gist of this agreement is that municipalities are desirous of amending the agreement to address additional recent statutory revisions and to increase the local room tax to 8%. So this 19 pages, basically goes into detail, updating this same document that we did many years ago as the first step in this process. After which we will then do the ordinance, the town's ordinance, which adjusts our room tax to that amount, and then a resolution authorizing the intergovernmental room tax agreement. So hopefully no one has any questions. This has been around forever, but if you do, Linda's totally prepared.
I am.
All right.
The two major changes to that governmental agreement, it will still be the 19 municipalities. So all municipalities, cities, villages, and towns in Door County right now are a member. The two major changes to that agreement was an increase from the current 5.5% room tax to 8%. And the other major change was that each municipality will be responsible for their fair share of the Tourism Zone Commission administration and operation. So those were the two major changes.
Which we expect our share based on our funds to increase, but as well offset by the increase in the tax.
Right.
So,
And as Mr. Elliott, or right now, the estimate was that we would be responsible for approximately, our room tax collections in Sevastopol represent approximately 6.61% of total room tax collected. So that would be our estimated fair share that we would have to contribute towards the zones or the commission's operation, approximately 20,000.
okay. Anyone have any questions? If not, a motion to approve would be appropriate.
Okay, I will move to approve. Let me go back to page 1 here of the 20 pages. Move to approve the Intergovernmental Room Tax Agreement, the Third Amendment and Restatement, as presented in our packet.
All right, motion by Linda,
I will second it.
second by Derek, to approve the intergovernmental room tax agreement, Third Amendment, and restatement. Any further questions? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, part 1. All right. We'll pause on this for a couple minutes and we'll talk about the use of ARPA funds to enhance COVID vaccinations. Again, I brought this up at last month's meeting. When you review the questions, the frequently asked questions and the direction that we got from the federal government on the use of ARPA funds, one of the things that was allowed in there was to create an incentive or lottery or whatever terminology you'd like to use to increase the vaccination rates in your community. And what I did was, just for thought starters, I put together just a very rough guideline, which is certainly open for all of your input, where we could establish for lack of a better word, an incentive or lottery, where we could take a chunk of that cash. In this case, I'm just suggesting 10 grand, but it could be less, or it could be more. And what we would do is agree to pay out basically a first, second, and third place cash prize to eligible residents of the town who came to a clinic operated by the county, Door County Health Department, and get vaccinated. And we were able to get some tentative dates. If we decided to move ahead with the health department, they would come here and vaccinate those individuals. Those residents would then basically be entered into a drawing where within a reasonable time frame, probably an October meeting, we would draw a name out of the hat and award a cash incentive to those people that came to the clinic. And for those residents that are already vaccinated, rather than create an issue where someone says, gee, I did this, and so on and so forth, we would put another drawing in place for, say, another $2,000. And anyone that would like to submit a proof of vaccination of their card to the town clerk, we'd put them in the drawing for $2,000 at the same time. So nobody ends up being a loser, and it doesn't cost you anything except the prick in the arm. So it would be, suggestions would be, is it would be restricted to the residents of Sevastopol and anyone that could show proof of residency. We don't want to be shooting up all those people from Jacksonport, you know, they're always here. We'd want to encourage, whether we want to encourage age groups or not is just a topic for conversation. Would we want to require a minimum number of vaccinations? Again, a topic for conversation. We could revise the payouts based on the number of vaccinations that we had. Tentative drawing could be at the October meeting. And Amy, what were the dates, do you recall, for the clinic if we tried to pull this off?
I want to say it was September 7th, September 11th, and there was another one in September.
Okay, so about
There's 3 of them.
almost 3 to 4 weeks out.
Mhm.
And they would do that here, and then they would arrange to come back for the second shot, depending on, I think they would offer either Pfizer or Moderna, I think was what was in their note. So I gave you a copy of the extract that came from the frequently asked questions, as you can see where it talks about how you can use this. I did also make a couple of phone calls because Linda had mentioned that if we have a lottery, potentially there could be some requirements for licensing or whatever. After trying to get a hold of the Department of Revenue, I called the district attorney, also called the corporation counsel. And their recommendation is that we just call it a vaccination incentive, since there's no money involved, it's strictly a drawing, and it's been legalized by the feds. They basically took the position of who would come to prosecute us. It would be kind of, you're doing something to increase public health, so chances are there's nothing that we would need to do. I do have the numbers for people to confirm that conversation, but I think the gist of it is it's certainly allowable under what we know today. So the question is, what do you think about it? Do you want to try it, do it, and what would we want to refine in the way of rules if we do? So, be my guest.
Well,
Go ahead, Linda.
okay. I am not in favor of this at all. And I don't want to get into the middle of anybody's individual rights versus social responsibility. I don't want to go there. I have read this 40-page document of what we can use our recovery funds for. We can use it for broadband. We can use it for clean water, and Dunes Lake comes to mind. We can use it for certain infrastructure, affordable housing, park expansion. I look at our pavilion and I look at our concession stand and our playground and our bleachers. We can use it for student recreation. I think broadband is probably at the top of my list, since I have like 0 download speed right now because everybody's online. You can also pool funds with other government units or local organizations. You can transfer funds. You can even make loans. So I do not support a lottery. I do not support, yes, I would love to see, you know, everybody taking their responsibility when it comes to the health situation, but I don't see this as the way to do it, and I won't support it. Sorry.
So you're positive about it?
I'm positive that I'm not supporting it.
And keep in mind that there are places where they've done, you know, $100 a shot, they've
Yep.
done college,
I've
degree
looked at
college,
it all.
you name it, whatever, $1 million drawing, we're not gonna
I
do
saw
that.
that too. I
We're
think it
short
was-
of the million
I think
by
it was-
999,000.
I think California was doing $1 million drawing. I do not think that is appropriate use of taxpayers' money. Now, you may look at this as free money. There's no such thing as free money.
Oh yeah, that's the
And,
key to the federal government.
I would just look to our residents to do their civic and public health duty and take responsibility for it.
Okay. Derek or Mark?
I'm not in favor of it either. I'd like to still give people their own right to be vaccinated or not to put money on top of it. So I don't think the town should really get into that.
Okay. Mark?
I agree with both Derek and Linda. I'm wearing a mask because I was told I have to, so not that I don't believe in the vaccine, I don't want to get it personally, and I don't think we should be putting money on this, and as Linda said, we can use that money for a lot of better things in this town, in my personal opinion.
All right, so we should move ahead with it then.
Move ahead with using it somewhere else, yes.
All right, that's fine with me. I gave you the opportunity to take a look at it and see what you want to do. I have no problem with that. It's less work for me. All right. Ordinances and resolutions. So, first one in the packet is resolution authorizing the amendment to the Door County Tourism Zone Commission Agreement. That's 02-2021, and then resolution 3-2021, approving the intergovernmental room tax And the last one is the ordinance. Now, I think from reading through these, that the ordinance should be the second item, because the ordinance references our approval of the other document. So, not that it's a big deal, but we should probably just flip-flop and do the ordinance second and the resolution third. But again, this follows the same talk track as we did earlier with the room tax. It's a resolution authorizing amendment to the Door County Tourism Zone Commission Agreement, how they're paid. Commission, and the key thing in this whole document is the commission operation will come from direct payments from the member municipalities. The amount owed by each member municipality shall be determined by its percentage share of the room tax collected. So Linda mentioned this before, we anticipate that to be approximately $20,000, and hopefully we'll recover that back from the commission with the appropriate tourism expenditures. So that's the first resolution. Anyone have any questions regarding that? If not, a motion, yes.
I would just like to comment again, the main changes to this resolution. Excuse me. The room tax used to be split 30% back to the municipalities, 66% went to Destination Door County for promotion, and 4% was allocated to the Tourism Zone Commission. This resolution now splits it 30% back to the municipalities, 70% to Destination Door County, with each municipality being responsible for their share of the costs, as our chairman mentioned.
Okay, anyone else, questions, comments? All right. You want a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, go ahead, Linda, you want it?
No, go ahead.
Make a motion to approve the resolution 02-2021.
All right,
I'll
Mark?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Linda. All right, resolution authorizing the amendment, resolution number 02-2021. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
That's,
We're on,
Sorry.
we're on 02-2021,
Sorry, I read that.
right?
yep,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 022.
that's not roll call.
Not a
No.
resolution.
Only the ordinance.
The ordinance is okay.
Yeah. Sorry, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, this one's done. Now, to my way of reading, we should go to the ordinance next, and that is roll call. That is ordinance number 2021-02, ordinance amending the provisions of the Town of Sevastopol's room tax ordinance. Multiple pages, changing the percentage so that it mirrors everything else that we're approving tonight. Anybody have any comments with respect to that?
Just that, the ordinance does reference, I don't believe reserve fund was referenced in the initial ordinance, maybe it was, but I don't recall it, but, if you look on page 4, item L, as in Linda, it does talk about a reserve fund, so.
Oh, okay. Means this fund established, maintained by the commission.
So whatever the tourism's entity, which most likely will be Destination Door County, depending on what their annual budget would be, and comparing that to actual room tax collected, there may be excess funds which would be placed into a reserve.
Okay. So they have a bonus one year and negative the next. All right. Anyone else having any comments? If not, a motion to approve ordinance number 2021-02.
I'll move to approve that ordinance as presented.
Motion by Linda, second by?
Second.
Second by Derek. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ordinance carries.
You have to take a roll call for that.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Call.
I mean, I said that, and then we turned around and did it without. Go ahead.
Supervisor Danielle?
Aye.
Supervisor Haynes,
Aye.
Chairman Mokel,
Aye.
Supervisor Wade.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Even after I mentioned it, we forget. Okay. So the next item is resolution number 3-2021. Resolution authorizing and approving the Intergovernmental Room Tax Agreement Amendment number 3. And this is the one that basically states that we in the town have amended our room tax ordinance to increase it to 8% as authorized by state Wisconsin statutes, and to modify the operations of the Room Tax Commission. Linda, any comment?
I've lost my resolution here.
You can certainly have mine.
Okay. I don't think, okay, I see the ordinance, I'm looking for resolution 03, right?
Yep,
Mhm.
03-2021.
Does anybody have a page number per chance?
Still on the other one.
How about you?
Oh, okay, thank you. Again, it's that from 5.5% to 8%. We are entering into the intergovernmental agreement, no, it's good to me.
Good to go?
Yeah.
Linda's give us her official blessing as our committee person on that group. Any other comments, concerns? If not, a motion to approve would be in order. And
I'll
it's
make-
not a roll call.
I'll make a motion to approve 03/2021 resolution authorizing and approving intergovernmental room tax agreement amendment number 3.
All right, motion by Derek,
Second.
second by Mark. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We're done with the ordinance portion. All right, financial reports in your packet. You have our account balances, the budget versus actual January through July. And you also have the transactions by date. And the treasurer is going to share with us some very pertinent facts. Amy?
The town will receive the August settlement from the county for the second half of the property taxes that were due. Our budget work session is scheduled for October 11th at 5 p.m. Committees should start planning to have their meetings to plan for the 2022 budget.
Didn't we just do this last year at this time and the year before? Okay, thank you. All right, we need a motion to take the financial reports, put them on file.
I'll move to accept the financial reports for July 2021.
Motion by Linda, second by Mark, to accept the financial reports for July 2021. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. I think everybody's had a chance to look at and sign the vouchers, bills, and claims.
Yes.
All right, given that, a motion would be in order.
I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers, bills, claims, July 20th, 2021 through August 16th, 2021.
All right, motion by Mark, second by,
I'll second that motion with a comment that the highway department did a really nice job on what roads have been paved so far. The turnaround at the end of Shoreside Drive is really nice compared to what it was, so thanks to the county.
cool. All right, motion by Mark, second by Linda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion approved, thank you. Oral committee reports minutes. Supervisor Vogel, will you do the broadband? All right. Jeannie's not here, but I will just share, because I was at one of her last meetings, just a little bit of the direction that her committee is taking. And as Linda mentioned earlier, the ARPA funds can be spent on broadband. That's one of the areas that we can spend money. And we're not prepared at this time to jump in whole hog, for lack of a better phrase, with any particular vendor or solution. There's too many things up in the air. There are a number of internet providers that have submitted grant applications to the state to get some of this funding that the state has, as well as funding that's coming from the federal government. But we would like to have some impact that would be visible in the community. So the suggestion was made at the meeting that there are somewhere between 30 and 40 students in the school district who use basically a cellular telephone hotspot card that the school provides, because some of these students are in areas where there is no internet or very, very marginal internet. So we have gone to the school and asked a couple things. One is, tell me who those people are that live in our town. And we hope, in partnership with the school, that we might find a way to subsidize broadband access for those selected students. And one of the items, not defined at this time, but one of the items would be to perhaps subsidize Starlink, which is a high-speed internet solution that is viable in Door County strictly by our good fortune. So we're in the initial phases. I know Jeannie has had a preliminary conversation with Kyle at the school, and we hope to have more information. And if that's the case, we might commit a small portion of our money to do that. I think it would have an impact on the community where you could actually see an improvement. So that would probably encompass about 75% of what Jeannie had on her mind. So, do you have any questions? If not, Mark is here. So, Mark, we'll let you do your thing.
All right, well, we haven't had a meeting in quite some time. I am planning on a meeting hopefully next Wednesday. The field update, we haven't heard anything back from Hutchinson yet. I talked to Brooke Tank, and she said that they have about a week to 2 weeks left at the school, finish up the football field, and then it'll be moving over by us, hopefully after that. So we're still waiting, because the town has not received an email from him, and neither has the school. So we're just kind of waiting till he lets us know what happens. Hopefully it dries up over there enough so we can start working on the lights, the
Ball field lights.
Ball field lights. We need to get those done before he starts, so we can have them for the spring season. The ones on the rest of the field, obviously we don't have to rush into, but when they're here doing it, we're trying to do it all. We had talked to Eric Leist about possibly Affordable Tree Service doing the lights. He's not sure if he can reach the baseball lights. He can definitely reach the softball lights because they're lower. So I know we can get the fire department to do it. She said just let them know
Okay.
when. So yeah, so hopefully next Wednesday, 6 o'clock, we'll be having our next park meeting.
Okay, well, we've, maybe you already thought of this, but maybe we should have Hutchinson come.
Yeah, if you can get hold of him.
All right, well, if he's over by the school, we could send a representative over there to
Yeah.
trap him.
Someone that works right here during the day could just wander over. I'm just gonna do a whole lot.
We pay mileage,
Oh, okay.
so I'll give you $1.10. All right, well, it would be nice if we can corral them, because I'm concerned about the work and the watering and all the timing of this, so that we don't dig ourselves a hole for next spring. So, okay, that sounds good. All right. We have the call, I have to approve the Sevastopol Communication Technology meeting from Tuesday, September 15th. So, motion to approve those.
I'll move to accept those minutes and place on file.
Linda, thank you. Second by?
Second.
Second by Derek. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. All right. Into the Door County Inspections Report, which you have in your packet for the month. I think that man is extremely busy, at least from what I heard. Correspondence. We have the Wisconsin unit of the WTA at our town Thursday, August 26th at 6 o'clock. It'd be great if you all can make it, myself included. The Door County, Destination Door County interim CEO will be there. If there's somebody, would they anticipate appointing somebody prior to that?
I heard that they are down to 7 candidates, but they don't expect to nominate or appoint someone or elect someone until mid-September.
Oh, okay.
So what's the guy's name that's gonna be here speaking, Linda?
John Drosh.
Josh, John
John
Josh.
Drosh.
I know, it's a tough one. I had a tough time with that every time I talked to his dad. Okay, so put that on your calendar. And then, we have preliminary estimate of our population. Represents an increase of 146 residents, an increase of 5.6%. We're up to 2,774 people, which was surprising. All right. Also notice the payments, I think Amy touched on that. Shared revenue, also replacement for our video shared services. When they tweaked the charter payment, the state picked up the balance, so we received that. And then the exempt computer, boy, I don't remember what that is, Amy, what is that?
It's just computer aid. We get
To buy you a computer with $25.98?
$25.98, yes.
Okay, your abacus will be arriving shortly.
Fantastic.
It's for computers used for businesses in the town. Like when you file your personal property report, computers and other office equipment is exempt. So the town actually gets
Really? How
a
did you-
very small amount.
How did you ever find that out? I don't think I need to know. Fire dues, $22,000. Then a note from the Door County Coastal Byways. And their financial report is attached.
And we will put that in the, I will remember to bring that up at budget time because we are asking for a substantial increase for like around $1,000 instead of our usual
300?
300.
Okay. There's a copy of the letter that I wrote to AT&T talking about broadband. They had, as I mentioned last month, they had asked for verbal support and maybe financial support, again, depending on where they go for the state broadband grant process. I don't think we'll hear anything on that for 5 months or more, and then they have 3 years to build it out if they are elected. So your internet, Linda, is not gonna change for at least a month. Notice of a pier that's going in, not a pier, riprap, thank you, on Glidden. Copy of a letter that was written to Donna Peterson in this regard was with respect to Chuck Stager's request for a variance. Sevastopol schools. This will be up for discussion at the park meeting, this contract, Mark? Okay, good. Listing of the residences, short-term rentals for the month of May, it's a couple months behind.
I asked that they follow up and add some addresses to those. Most of the addresses are on there, but I noticed a couple don't, so I always like to know where the addresses are.
Oh, I agree. You drive by them, you can't even determine who's what.
Whatever happened with the address, they were talking about doing the perpendicular to the road, yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever happened with that?
Replacing all the E911 signs, I think that's on hold for now. Haven't heard a word since the health situation.
I know that somebody called me and was upset because it was $25 if you wanted to get one on your own.
Oh,
But that's the only conversation I've had with anyone relative to it, so. Okay. So announcements, we have the Door County, Wisconsin Towns Association unit meeting, again, 26th at 6 p.m. for the supervisors. The class tournaments are at the town park, September 4th and 5th. The Board of Supervisors meeting is going to be September 13th at 7 p.m. and our budget work session October 11th at 5. So, anybody have anything that needs? Yes?
The newsletter.
Oh, yeah, I meant
The
to ask that.
newsletter is at the printers. So I would like to thank everybody that contributed articles, and especially to Mr. Chapman for a wonderful layout. So it is at the printers, and hopefully it'll be in the mail soon.
Good.
Amy, I'm sure you'll hear when it's.
I think he said he's going to deliver them on the 17th to the Sunshine
He's going
House.
to deliver them?
Yes.
Okay, great, so we don't have to worry about
And we
those.
don't charge for this
Yeah.
newsletter.
And-
I'm sorry, August 17th, tomorrow.
And then also, the school dedication is Sunday afternoon, starting at 2 p.m.
Yep.
And there's an open house and a tour of the building. I was over there today. The building is absolutely gorgeous. It's,
Surprising what you can do with 25 million.
yeah, it really is nice. And I forgot to mention, under the recovery funds, we are a member of Bay Lake Regional Planning Commission. And they would offer assistance if we narrowed down
For grant or other things.
some purposes, they would help us with that, so I
Okay.
forgot to mention that.
And I'm glad you took a minute there, because I also wanted to remind anybody that was watching that we'd ask you to subscribe to the town's YouTube channel. There's a notation on the bottom of the agenda. If you come to the website, there's a hot link embedded there so that you can click on it. Husband, wives, and kids, we need to have 100 people subscribe to the channel in order to get a permanent name, where you'd be able to just Google Town of Sevastopol, whatever name they give us. So, I think, Laddie, you have any idea where we are at last time, 35 or so, 40?
Last I looked, it was 30, but that was quite a while ago.
Okay, so,
We can ask for a name, they don't have to give it, as long as no one else has used it, we can ask for a name.
right,
When we get to that point.
when we get to that point. So, you don't have to just have one person in the family, it doesn't mean anything, it doesn't cost anything, it's just sign up and it gets us to that lofty number of 100. All right, with that, it's Derek's favorite time of the meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
You would?
I would.
Second.
Motion by Derek, second by Mark. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. We are adjourned, thank you.